Yes, I am blonde. Yes, I chose to do this to myself. Actually, I paid to have it done. It all started because I dressed up as a Dziurosz from Good Omens for Halloween, picture here. And I kind of loved it. I never thought I would be a blonde. Out of all the colors I've ever wanted to dye my hair, and that I've dyed my hair previously, I never thought blonde would be one of them. I thought it was so not my vibe, but alas, this is working. I don't know how long I'll keep it up. It's definitely harsh on the hair and the scalp, so we'll see. I've been calling it blonde bombshell Ollie era. I don't know if we agree. I feel that's especially funny to say when you're wearing like a tweed jacket. Anyways, let's get on with the video. Hi everybody, I'm Ollie, this is Chaotic Bibliophile, and today I am going to tell you about the books that I want to finish this year. It is more than mid-November. So basically this is effectively a December TBR. But if I think about it that way, then this is ridiculous. So we're going to say end of the year TBR. I know I have 4 videos, oh my god, 4 videos, wrap-up videos due. But it is what it is, and we're rolling with it. Of course, as always, my top books of the year will be up in January because I am the crazy person who reads books until the end of the year. So okay, so first we'll start easy with a book that it's almost over, is The Lost Pianos of Siberia by Sophy. I just wanted a win, basically. I will probably have finished this book by the time this video is out. I've been buddying reading it with Natalie from Curious Reader. I will link her channel down below, although I'm sure if you watch me, you already know her. But yeah, it's incredible. It's this travel writing book about this woman going to trace pianos in Siberia, because surprisingly, Siberia was a very piano-rich country. She's quite taken with Siberia's history and also landscape and how those two sort of are intertwined. Siberia has really interesting, complex and rich geopolitical history as well, and all of that is in here. Honestly, I'm loving it. Along the same lines, except this is a book I just started, but I'm also buddy reading it, this time with Danny. We'll link her bookstagram down below. Please Miss by Grace Lavery. And the subtitle for this is A Heartbreaking Work of Staggering Penis, which is fabulous. Of course, she's a very important trans scholar and I love her so much, but somehow I have not yet read her memoir. This is a proof copy, but the final version is also fantastic. So yeah, then 2 fiction books that I haven't started yet but are next up. One is middle grade book Jamie by LD Lapinski, and this is about a non-binary child and sort of school activism is involved. I really want to read this in the next few days because I am finishing my position at the bookshop and I want to review this book before I leave. And then I'm also going to get to The Late Americans by Brandon Taylor. I got this review copy when it first came out and I was so sure I was going to read it right away. Whoops. But yesterday I was reading Brandon's latest Substack, what is it, like entry or just Substack? I was reading it and I loved it so much. He was looking at his MFA purpose of statement. I just really loved everything that he was saying, especially how he was saying that one thing that has remained with him from those times is wanting to write about male-male intimacy. I know I need to read like real life especially. I think I'm gonna love it because it's a campus novel, but I have a copy of this one and you know, we're reading my own books. So another one that's kind of time sensitive is Autumn by Alice Smith, because I want to do that thing where I read the book each season, and I haven't read the seasonal quartet yet, and autumn is running out and then it's winter, and I also have winter, so it's there. So if I don't want to wait another year, I need to get on this right now. A book that I am currently reading and just obsessed with, and I need to finish it, is The Idea of the Brain, A History by Mathew Cobb. This is basically what it says on the tin. It's a history of, sorry, my collar is just so crooked, but I don't want to, okay, fine. all right. It's just like it was bothering me. Yeah, so far I read 2 chapters and it's been fantastic. It's sort of different ideas of consciousness, and the first chapter, for example, is heart, and it talks about how in antiquity a lot of people thought that emotions and cognition came from the heart and why that is. I love that it's not dismissive of previous ideas. He's just like, hey, we got to reach to these conclusions because of all previous research. And so it's just history of science and history of medicine at its best. And the writing is so, even though it's like, it looks chunky, and the type is, you know, considerably small, it is so readable. I love the writing. Yes. Then I need to finish When I Hit You by Meena, Kandasamy, and this was a nominee, shortlisted actually, for the Women's Prize for Fiction in 2018. This is a friend's copy, and so I really want to finish it and read it back. It is an autofictional tale of her abusive marriage. I'm gonna, of course, wrap it up and then tell you more, but I'm very taken up with the structure, which is a bit messy, but also quite interesting because it's very oblique while at the same time confronting head on her sort of rage about the situation. And yeah, it's very fascinating. I really want to finish it this year. Another one that I really want to finish this year is my reread of The Rise and Fall of the Dinosaurs. I feel like I read this book and I loved it last year in December actually, but because there was a lot going on, I didn't have that much headspace to absorb as much of it as I would have wanted. I have his following book, The Rise and Reign of the Mammals, which I also want to read, and I have some other dinosaur books that I want to get to pretty soon, next year. But for some reason, I just really wanted to reread this one. Although once I read a book, like rereads don't count towards my, you know, minimizing my TBR. I still want to have some time for them, especially if I feel like it. And I really want to finish No Love Lost, the selected novellas of Rachel Ingalls. Rachel Ingalls is a master storyteller, by far one of my favorite rediscovered classic authors. I just think she's so underrated, and I'm so glad Marlon James has been such like an advocate, because I don't know what happened first, but basically he was really talking about it at the time that Mrs. Caliban was being reprinted by Faber, and Faber has been reprinting her works. She's brilliant. She is so twisted, but not in a gory way, so interesting and playful. I'm obsessed. When I wrap this up, you're gonna want to pick that up. I've hand sold it a bunch as well. This is a memoir, Things I Didn't Throw Out, by Marcin Wicha, that is translated by someone from the Polish, by Marta, Dziurosz. This is a memoir about the author's mother, but like through objects, which is something I always look forward to. It was winner of English Pen Award, an award that I really respect. And yeah, I've heard only good things, really looking forward to it. One that was on my November nonfiction TBR, invert those, nonfiction November TBR, but I didn't get to was Sensoria by McKenzie Wark, and I just really need to finish it. The thing is that because it's quite it's not heavy, it's actually quite readable, but it is a concept heavy book. I personally like to sit down and read it and highlight and sort of think about it. And in October, because of many reasons, I didn't have the time to do that. In November is what I mean. I'm going on a little like weekend trip to visit a friend. I might take it then, or just like if I have some days off, just will sit down and, you know, make time to properly read this. But I'm really excited. As I said, this is a collection of essays on concepts for the 20th century and thinkers. I'll talk more about it when I wrap it up, but also I've talked about already on my Nonfiction November TBR, as I said, which will be linked down below and in the eye. The most ambitious of them all, Wagnerism, Art and Politics in the Shadow of Music by Alex Ross. I've already started this. It is a big hardcover, but I got it on like remainder sale, so it was really cheap. I don't think it was even like 10 quid, so good. This is about Wagner, but more than that, it's about how Wagner's music became politicized and appropriated by Hitler. And even more beyond that is about the idea of how art and culture are interconnected, affected by, and affect politics, and sort of the tensions in that. And Alex Ross is, I believe, one of the best music writers ever. I am by no means an expert, but of all my favorites, I think he's the one who can get me to read a 500-page book on Wagner. Is it 500? I feel like it's more. Yeah, it's almost 600. So there you go. More than 600. So he is also so good at making it both about the music and the culture and the commentary and yet remain readable. How does he do it? The Rest is Noise is really good. But if you want just a sample and you think, oh my God, like 500 plus book is too much, check out his essay collection. Listen to this, because it really shows, in my opinion, his true range. And so give that a shout. And finally, I broke my book buying ban, but only for this. Manchester Unspun, How a City Got High on Music. I've been to Manchester twice in less than a month because I love Manchester so much. I would love to live there at some point. It's such a queer city, such a great city with such an amazing history. And so I wanted a way into that history that wasn't like dry, or like, I just didn't want a proper history book kind of. So this was of course in the music section because it is about music, but also it is very much about the socio-political conditions that made Manchester into one of like the biggest UK music cities. And yeah, sort of the development, the, you know, promises, both those fulfilled and those not fulfilled, those wins and failures. And I read the introduction and it's already so good. The writing is, so I had to get it. And so this is the next nonfiction book that I'm going to read after I'm done with the first two that I mentioned. But other than that, as an update, I have reduced my TBR. When the wrap-up time comes, we'll see exact numbers. And yeah, that's it. Let me know if you've read any of these books, if you want to read them after hearing me talk about them, and just generally, what are you reading? What are you enjoying? Do you have any end of the year plans? And yeah, that's it. See you next time. It is Please Miss Grace. What? This was in the music section.